Hi, today we're going to talk about the debugger in the Netbeans IDE. Hopefully you watched the Eclipse one. I'm going to go a little bit faster through this one, and like I've mentioned before, Netbeans isn't my preferred editor, so it's a little bit more outside of my comfort zone. So just to sum up, we have this class called Fibonacci that works with Fibonacci sequence. We pass it an index value, and we want the method to return the Fibonacci value at that corresponding index. And so really quickly, a Fibonacci sequence, 1 plus 1 equals 2, 3 equals 1 plus 2, 5 equals 2 plus 3. So we're adding the two previous terms to get the next one. We'll go ahead and run it quickly, and we can see that as we have it, it works. But let's say that we accidentally messed up our for loop, and we didn't have less than or equals, we simply had less than. And so when we run it, we can see that we're not getting the values that we're expecting to get anymore. So this is where the debugger comes in handy, and in Netbeans we use the debugger by, similar to Eclipse, we click where we want the program to stop its execution so we can inspect it. You can see it highlights it red and puts this little red square there. And so we come up here to the right of the Run button, and we click on that down arrow. We can see Debug Project. So when we hit that, it's going to execute until it reaches our breakpoint. And so down here in our little console, we click on Variables, and this allows us to see what variables are at this time. So we can see that 9 was passed in, and our first pointers are 0. So similar to before, there is step over expression, step into, and step out. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not entirely sure what step over expression means. That's one that's not, I don't use in Eclipse, so I'm not completely comfortable with it. So let's go ahead and start by stepping into. And you can see our values down here change, and we can track them as they change. And we can keep stepping into. Now the difference between stepping into and stepping over, if you haven't seen it before, stepping into will actually step into the method. So everything that's getting executed, you're going to see. We have the add method here, and so when we step into it, we're going to jump down to the add method and see as it gets executed there. Step into again, and it returns back to where we left off, and we go down. This is opposed to step over, which is very similar to step into, except for it won't actually go into the add method. So you're able to just go line by line inside of the for loop. And then lastly, we have the step over, or step return, I think, step out. Oh, and that steps out of the function. Again, you'll have to forgive me, these are a little bit not what I'm used to. So perhaps when we return to cursor, yeah, so there we finish the execution. Let's go through that again really quickly. So yeah, I'm not clear what some of these do, but hopefully that's enough to give you at least some sort of idea of what's possible to see how to investigate when things are happening. And if you want to resume your program in the middle of debugging, which I didn't cover in Eclipse, you can totally do that. You can stop or hit play. If you want to stop and fix things, you click stop and then fix it. So like I said, a really hopefully brief and not too terrible introduction into the way the debugger in Netbeans works. As always, please let me know if you have any questions or comments. Thank you.